did America kill the cheap car? For over 100 years, owning a brand new car was part of the American dream. In the early 1900s, Henry Ford made a promise not to build the fastest car, not the most luxurious car, but a car for the great multitude, a reliable, affordable vehicle, so inexpensive that almost any working American could own one, and for decades, that promise became reality. Families could walk into a dealership and drive home in a brand new economy car for well under $10,000. Cars like the Ford Escort, Honda Civic, Saturn, and even the tiny Chevy Spark weren't exciting. They were simply affordable. But today, that entire category has almost disappeared. The average new car now costs nearly $50,000, and even the cheapest new car you can buy today, the Kia K4, starts at around $23,500. Think about that for a second. Today, the average American has to work roughly 740 hours just to afford the cheapest new car on sale. That's nearly 90 more hours than it took to buy Henry Ford's legendary Model T. So, what happened? How did the country that invented affordable cars become the country where cheap cars barely exist anymore? Because this story isn't just about inflation, it isn't just about greedy companies, and it definitely isn't as simple as cars got more expensive. The truth is far more shocking. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover decades of government policies, corporate decisions, changing consumer habits, and hidden incentive that quietly killed the affordable car. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why millions of Americans are paying more than ever for transportation, and why this problem may only get worse. So, let's go back. Not 10 years, not 20, but to a completely different America. Picture this. Newspaper ads filled with brand new cars under $10,000. College students proudly buying their first car. Young families walking into dealerships knowing a brand new vehicle was actually within reach. Back then, car ownership wasn't a luxury, it was almost an expectation. A brand new Honda Civic could cost around $12,000 or even less. Basic pickup trucks were affordable, small hatchbacks were everywhere, and manufacturers competed to build the best value, not just the biggest profit. That's exactly the America Henry Ford imagined. An America where ordinary people could own extraordinary freedom. But somewhere along the way, that dream slowly started to disappear. By late 2021, the average price of a new vehicle had exploded to nearly $47,000. Today, it's even higher. That's not just inflation, that's an entirely different market. Take a second and think about it. We've gone from the legendary Model T to pickup truck that easily cost over $60,000. We've gone from affordable transportation to monthly payments that feel like a second rent, and somehow, most people accepted it, almost without noticing. So, what changed? Because cars didn't suddenly become made of gold. Something happened behind the scenes, something that quietly transformed the entire industry. And that's exactly where this story begins. Before we get there, we need to understand something most people completely overlook. Over the last 60 years, American cars became dramatically safer, cleaner, and smarter. Seatbelt, airbag, crash structures, catalytic converters, electronic safety systems, computers, sensors. Every generation added something new, and every new feature added a little more cost. Now here's something surprising. Studies estimate federal safety standards added only around $629 to the average vehicle, just 2.7% of its price. So safety regulations alone don't explain why cars suddenly cost twice as much, but they did make modern vehicles far more complex. Today's cars contain thousands of electronic components, advanced software, high-strength steel, and technology that would have looked like science fiction just 30 years ago. That's great for safety, it's great for fuel economy, but it also makes building a truly cheap car much harder. And then, Americans themselves started changing. Instead of buying tiny compact cars, people wanted more space, more comfort, more cargo, more ride height. Minivans became SUVs, SUVs became full-size crossovers, and pickup trucks became family vehicles. Today, more than 75% of all new vehicles sold in America are SUVs or trucks. So here's the obvious question. If customers are lining up to buy $40,000 SUVs, why would a company spend millions building a $15,000 hatchback that barely makes any profit? Exactly. And that simple question changed the entire business forever. Because in the next chapter, you'll discover the decision that quietly convinced automakers to stop building affordable cars almost entirely. Why this matters to you. So, now we know who killed the cheap car, but here's the question that actually matters. Why should you care? Because this story isn't just about automakers. It isn't just about politics. It's about your your wallet, your future, and every car you'll buy from this point forward. Because when affordable cars disappear, millions of Americans don't simply pay more, they lose options. And when your options disappear, your freedom disappears with them. Think about it. If every new vehicle costs $40,000, $50,000, or even $60,000, what happens to the family living paycheck to paycheck? What happens to the college graduate buying their first car? What happens when someone's old vehicle finally breaks down and replacing it suddenly requires a 7-year loan? For many people, that isn't an inconvenience. It's a financial emergency, and the numbers prove it. Vehicle repossessions surged by more than 40% between 2022 and 2024, returning to levels America hadn't seen since the Great Recession. Because when monthly payments become impossible, people don't just lose their cars, sometimes they lose their jobs too. In much of America, no car means no work, no grocery store, no school pickup, no independence. A car isn't a luxury, it's survival. And unfortunately, buying the car is only the beginning. Repair costs keep climbing, maintenance keeps getting more expensive. The average repair visit now costs hundreds of dollars, and nearly 40% of Americans don't even have enough savings to comfortably handle that surprise expense. Imagine your transmission fails tomorrow. Now you're facing a repair bill on a car that's already expensive, or another loan for a vehicle that's even more expensive. It's a cycle that millions of people are trapped inside. And here's the scary part. The industry isn't slowing down. Every year, cars become more advanced, bigger touchscreens, more sensors, more cameras, more driver assistance systems, more premium trims. That's fantastic for safety and incredible for technology. But every new feature pushes the entry price higher. Little by little, the affordable car disappears even further into history. Today, finding a brand new vehicle under $20,000 becoming almost impossible. For many buyers, the used car market is no longer a choice. It's the only choice. But does that mean there's no hope? Not necessarily. The future could look very different. If trade policies ever change, affordable foreign EVs could finally enter the American market. Companies like BYD already build electric cars that sell for dramatically less in other countries. Today, heavy tariffs keep many of those vehicles out of America. But if those barriers ever change, the entire market could shift almost overnight. At the same time, lawmakers, consumer advocates, and industry experts are all beginning to ask the same question. How do we make cars affordable again without sacrificing safety? Nobody has the perfect answer yet, but one thing is becoming clear. The conversation has finally begun. So, what should you do? First, ignore the monthly payment. That's the number dealerships want you to focus on. Instead, negotiate the out-the-door price, every fee, every charge, every dollar. Second, do your homework, compare prices, use trusted valuation tools, know what others actually paid before you ever step onto the lot. And finally, be patient. Some of the best deals today aren't on flashy SUVs, they're on overlooked sedans, previous model years, and vehicles that everyone else forgot about. Because smart buyers don't chase hype, they chase value. And maybe that's the biggest lesson in this entire story. America didn't wake up one morning and decide to kill the cheap car. It happened. One decision at a time, one regulation, one business strategy, one consumer trend, until eventually, affordable transportation quietly disappeared. But now, you know why, which means the next time you walk into a dealership, you'll see the market differently. You'll understand why prices are so high. You'll negotiate smarter, and hopefully, you'll avoid making one of the most expensive financial mistakes most people ever make. Because in today's market, knowledge might be the most valuable option you can buy. Before you go, here's something that completely changed the way I think about driving. Have you ever noticed that your car somehow feels faster at night, even when you're driving the exact same speed? That's not your imagination, it's actually science. And once you understand why, you'll never experience nighttime driving the same way again. So if you enjoyed this deep dive, click the video on your screen right now. Why cars feel faster at night, the science explained. I promise. You'll never look at nighttime driving the same way again. I'll see you in the next one.